Okay, so we are recording here, and the last sketching lecture that I went over with you was on orthographic drawings. An orthographic drawing is a drawing which shows the top and the front and the right side view, and then sometimes more views depending on the complexity of the part. And also orthographic drawings are also called multi-view drawings, okay, because you're showing many views. Tonight's focus is going to be on isometric drawings, okay, where we're going to take the multi-view drawing and we are going to create an isometric from it, okay? All right. So again, this is in your Canvas, this PowerPoint, so you're welcome to look at that at your convenience. Let's just go over some of these bullets here. Isometrics are 2D pictorial drawings. They're pictures. They're not three-dimensional drawings. Even though they look like they're three-dimensional drawings, they're not. They're two-dimensional drawings that give the impression of being 3D. The primary purpose for isometric drawings is visualization. It gives the person a picture, what it looks like. Often they're not scaled to true length or true scale. So a lot of times we don't dimension isometrics, but you can dimension isometric drawings. We're just not going to do so in this class. Also, I'm going to make you aware again, I think I may have shown this to you last time when we had the sketching lecture, the isometric axis. Notice that this line and this line has a 30-degree angle with respect to the horizontal, right? And then we have this vertical line. And I said, okay, so I asked you to get some isometric graph paper at some point. You don't have to buy any. Do you remember the site I told you to go to? Does anyone remember? www. Here, let me just write this down for my online students. www.printablepaper.net. If you go to that site, they have rectangular grid paper. They have isometric grid paper, and even graph paper for your math courses, okay, if you need some graph paper. And you can send it to your printer. All thing you have to pay for is your paper that you have at home, okay?
That site acts for segment size?
I'm sorry?
The site acts for segment size?
Yes, usually about a quarter of an inch. Quarter of an inch is a good size to work with, maybe 1/8 of an inch. I think that's an option too. Okay? All right. Now, my good friend, I did not create this PowerPoint. I had a good friend who did, and he does have one error, but I'm going to show you actually a different way to create what we call an isocircle. All right? Now, when we did the orthographic drawings and we created a circle, I said sometimes you might need to use what they call the enclosing box method. It's just a sketch of a square, and your circle is tangent at those 4 line segments. Okay? But there's another way of doing this when you're talking about isometrics. You can do the way he's got here. Now he does have an error here. He's got the major axis here along this path here, and this really should be the minor axis right here, okay? And then you can sketch your iso circle. Now I'm going to show you how to do this a little differently, okay? All right, so I'm going to turn this paper over, and so how do you make an iso circle with the method that I'm going to show you here? First of all, I've got to call it enclosing parallelogram, okay? All right. So this is a parallelogram, so that's step one, right? As we have to create a parallelogram. I hope that's spelled right. I think it is. A parallelogram. Now, you can use, I would do these lines very lightly, but I'm going to do them darker because I have to make sure you can see it on the video. But I would make these lines very light. Okay? And then the next thing you're going to do is you are going to find the midpoint of each line segment. Okay, I hope you can read my chicken scratch here, but find the midpoint of each line segment. Again, now, what I want to show you here is this angle here is 30 degrees. Okay? So it is an isometric axis. So I got to find the midpoint of each line segment, and so you're going to have to do this by hand here. Okay, kind of like this. All right. I hope you can see that, where I've divided found the midpoint of each line segment. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to draw diagonals from corners to midpoints. And let me illustrate this. Okay. So this is one of my corners right here. Okay? So it says draw a diagonal from the corners to the midpoint. So I'm going to take this corner and I'm going to draw a very light line here like this. Okay? And I'm going to do that again from this corner. I'm going to draw a line from this corner to that midpoint right there. Okay? Now, this corner. So this is like corner 1 and corner 2. Sorry, it keeps readjusting the autofocus. Maybe it's doing that because of my hand. Let's see. Okay. Now we're going to take this corner and we're going to do the same thing. Okay, like this. And then like this. Okay? Y'all see that? Okay, so step 4, we're going to find the pivot points, I call them. Okay, so the pivot points is the intersection of these two, one here, okay, and then we have one here, and then the corners themselves, this corner and this corner are the pivot points. We have 4 pivot points. Now, if you were using instrumentation, you could basically lay this out to scale and use a compass to take your compass and you're going to swing an arc this way and you're going to swing an arc this way and then one here and then one here. I don't have a compass, so I have to do this with a steady hand. Okay, so if using instruments, if using drawing instruments, okay, lay out the scale layout to scale. Sorry, this is not easy to write on this surface. Layout to scale and use compass to scribe arcs. Okay, so pretend this is the scale, and then we're going to use a compass at these pivot points. So pretend my pencil is okay, so basically I'm going to use this as my pivot point, and I'm going to draw, this is my radius, and I'm just going to very lightly do that. Okay? Now I'm going to repeat that for this pivot point here. This is my radius here of my compass. Scribe an arc like that. Okay? Now I'm going to open up my compass a little bit bigger, and I'm going to use this corner here to scribe an arc this way. So I'm going to scribe an arc this way, just like that. Okay? And then do it for this corner as well. Okay, so it's going to look like this. So we do have a test in this class at some point, right? A test 1 or something, like at the midterm or something, a take-home test. I may ask you to try to do one of these by hand. Okay? So hang on to your notes, or make sure you watch the videos again. So that's called an isocircle. By the way, an isocircle is not a circle, it's an ellipse. Okay? It's actually truly an ellipse. So repeat the steps, create a parallelogram, find the midpoint of each line segment, draw diagonals from the corners to the midpoints, find the pivot points, that's where they intersect, and then if using drawing instruments, lay out this whole thing to scale and use a compass to describe the arcs. If not, you have to do it by hand like I just did. Any questions about this? This one? Yes, ma'am.
So the arcs for the corner 1 and corner 2, would we do those without the pivot points, or are we supposed to make?
No, you have a pivot point. It's this point here. So you're going to open up your. This is going to be your radius. Yeah, this is your radius now. Okay, this is radius 1 here. This is like, I'll call this little R1. Okay. Sorry, let me focus that again. And then we have this radius here. We'll call that big R1. Do you see that? So you have two radii. Okay, so if you have more questions, we can bring this back up after the video, but you only have two radiuses. And you have 4 pivot points. All right. All right, let's go to the next slide here. Now, I'm going to let you read it. You have access to the PowerPoint. This is his method of creating an isocircle. It's straightforward. So please, this is slide 4 of the PowerPoint. Please read over this slide. And again, if you want to do his method, you can. I have no problem. It doesn't matter to me which one you use when you create your sketches. But his is the enclosing box method. So he's only got 2 axes. He's got this one and this one. But again, he's drawing an ellipse here. This is an ellipse. Okay? So please read over slide 4. All right. I actually enjoy doing isometric drawings. They're kind of fun. I like doing puzzles. Here we have, what type of drawing is this? This is an orthographic drawing, right? We have the top and the front and the right side view. Essentially, we have two blocks, one stacked on top of the other. I'm going to draw the lower block first. And we have no units here. They're not inches and millimeters. It's basically just units. So if you count the number of units here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the length of this is 12. The lower block only, not the upper block. This is the lower block. This is the upper block. Just the lower block is 3 units tall. And the depth of this looks to be 8. Okay? So I'm going to create the lower block first. So I'm going to start right here in this corner. Remember, it's 3 units high. 1, 2, 3. And again, you don't have to draw this because you can take a picture of this as soon as I'm done. And it's 12 units long. I know it goes all the way to the end here. This. Okay. So this is like the front face of my lower block. Okay. Again, you can use on any hand sketch drawings in here. You can use a straight edge or a ruler or a scale or whatever. You don't have to do this by hand. And it's harder for me because this platform is elevated kind of high and I'm kind of down low here. So I usually do a better job of hand sketching than this. Now I'm going to do the depth. It's 8. It's 8 units is the depth, okay? All right. So these other 2 lines, though, I'm going to make very lightly here because I have to put the... see how I made those kind of lightly right now? Because I have to draw another block on top of the lower block. What's the length of the upper block?
It's 8 high.
This block here, can you count? I mean, I know you can count. Can you see the number? I'm sorry. I know you can count. I'm sorry. That came out wrong. It's tired. It's a long day. It's 5 units, right?
Yes.
The length is 5. What's the depth?
5.
5. And then what's the height? 5, right? So we have a perfect key, right? So, sorry about that, Cassandra. I know you can count. Mr. Morris is the one that can't count. All right, that's the base. That's where I'm going to set this block, okay? And we know it's 5 units tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I know it's going to be this way all the way around. Actually, you can do it very lightly first and then come back and darken it in when you're happy. See? If you want to leave the construction lines, I'm okay with that. Something happened here, something like that. Okay. That line there is not straight. Hold on. Sorry about that. All right, so I'm going to darken in what we're going to keep here. Now I'm going to darken in this line here. Sometimes it's not a good idea to erase because you'll smudge your drawing. But make sure you darken in what you actually can see. You do not show hidden lines, by the way, on isometric. No hidden lines. Okay? Like I said, I normally do a better job than this, but this desk here is elevated, and I'm sitting like on the floor, it feels like. All right, so that's let's do this also. So if this is surface A, and let's say this is B, let's say this is C, and D, and E, and F, okay? If I point to a surface, can you tell me what goes here? What goes here?
C.
C. How about right here?
F,
F. What about right here?
B,
B. What about here?
E,
And what about here? D. And then A, right? Did we get them all right? Looks like we did. Okay. Now that one was the easy one. We're actually going to do this in CAD here in a few minutes. The same one. And you're going to get graded on this one. Not this one, but the one you do in CAD. But it's not due tonight. Yes, sir. The drawing number for this? You're just going to call it isometrics, is what you're going to call it. Now, this is not from your textbook. Your textbook does not have this one in there. I can pull one from the textbook, though. We're going to have open lab on Thursday. So that's kind of when I'm going to maybe probably make the official assignment. But this here is from a different book. So you can just call this you can call this one if you want to for a file name ISO 1. Okay? All right. This one, I'm looking at this and I kind of see two blocks. I see a rectangular block here, and then I see a step block here with a notch cut out. So this is the top view, this is the front view, and this is the right side view. Why is this a hidden line here? Anyone know?
because looking down on the top view, you can see where there's a notch right there.
From the top view, you can see that notch, right? But from the front view, you can't see it. So, all right. So the way I usually draw this one is I will draw this block here first, and I'm going to start with this point right here. So here's that same point. Now I need to mark off the length of this, okay, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Come over 4 units, and I'm going to draw a line like this, okay? And then the height of this looks to be 8. So I'm going to go right here, the same point right here, which is right here. I'm going to go up 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then that's this front face here. Okay? The depth of this is 8. So I'm going to count back 8, which is actually all the way to this point here. So again, you do it very lightly, like this. Now, again, down here, very lightly, I'm just using these construction lines right now because I got to get that step block in there. Okay, so how many units high is the step block, the highest step? How many units is that? 6, right? So I'm going to take this corner right here and I'm going to go up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right there at that point. Okay? That point is this point right here, which is this point here. And you can see it has a depth of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to do like this, okay? And going over here towards the right, it's 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Point right there, like that. Come over here, do this one. So I have the top step like that. And then the lower step is 3 down, right? So I'm going to come down 3. 1, 2, 3. And then the lower step from here to here is 4, and then it's 5 back. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not going to put the notch in just yet. I'm just going to kind of box that in like that. Come down here. I'm just boxing in the steps now. Okay, now I have to put that notch here. Okay, so that's a 2x2. So it kind of goes like this. Okay, now I'm going to darken in what I'm going to keep here, okay? So, make this much darker. I don't know, it seemed like when I was your age, taking college level courses, especially this course, we're not done with the notch yet. I'm going to come back to the notch. I enjoy doing isometrics the most. I don't know why. Again, they were like doing puzzles to me. Okay, now we can't actually see the bottom. So what's going to happen here is it's going to come straight down like this, okay? Because we can't see this surface here. I can make a hidden line, but I don't want to do it. We can't see that part, the lower part of the. We can't see the lower part of the notch. At least this line here, okay? We can't see it. Any questions on that? Now, if I label this A and then B and C and D and E and F and G and H and I think that's good enough. Okay, so if I point right here, what surface is this? H, right? Okay, that's H. All right, what about this surface here?
G.
What did you say?
G.
G. Okay, and what about this one here? A. Okay, and what about this one here? E, right? And what about this one? What about this one? And what about this L shape? I. Any questions with that? I didn't think you would have too many problems with these. Brian, did you say something? Am I missing? Oh, yeah. We didn't do B or D. Y'all were getting the hang of it, so I figured, you know. Okay? All right. Two more slides, and then we get to start the AutoCAD stuff. This will be the end of our video. All this is right here is a stepped block with an inclined plane cut out of it, is all it is. So I'm going to draw the stepped block first, and then I'm going to put the incline in, okay? So I'm looking at this, and I can see that it's 8 units tall this way, and it looks to be, what, is it 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yes, 12 that way. So 8, 12. All right, so I'm going to come down here like this. After a while, you get to be pretty good at these things, right? And it's not too hard to do. And I come back 3. 1, 2, 3, or 4 actually. 1, 2, 3, 4 to this point. All right, then I go up. It looks like 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so imagine I'm going to extrude this face. For those who have me for 211 and 241, You may not understand what extrude means in this class, but if you have me for the other courses, you do. I'm just going to basically just extrude this surface back like this. Okay. But we're not done because we have an incline we have to cut out of this. So I can see that if I start at this point, which is this point right here, I come, what, 1, 2, 3. So right there, I'm going to put a point. And I'm going to go back 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, put a point there. I'm going to draw a line there, and then I'm going to draw another line to here, like this. Okay? Now, this point, which is this point, which is this point right here, connects to this point. So I'm just going to draw a line like that. Okay? Now, right here on the right side view, this point right here is this point. It's a line that comes straight down like this, right? Going to come down like this. And then, if it's okay, I'm just going to rotate this paper just for a minute until I can get that line in there. Okay, so let me actually darken in what we're going to keep here. So, I'm going to erase this a little bit. All right, so let me darken this in. I said darken in, it went black. It went dark. Huh. Oh man, I missed my mark. I hate it when I do it. Fix that. You kind of get spoiled with CAD systems, right? So that's what this block here would look like. Okay. Let's go ahead and label it, I guess. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So if I point right here, what is this? C. Okay. And if I point right here, what is this? A. And what if I point here? D. Here? B. Okay, what about this surface here? H. What about the incline?
E.
This here?
E.
Did I label it twice? I did. That's what I did wrong. Because G and E is the same what? So we'll call it E. See, I label this one, but they're the same surface. What about this one? F, right? Any questions with that? All right, last slide. Can I turn the page now? This is pretty easy with the exception of the hole. Okay, so I'm going to lay out the block first. This is 8 by 8 square. That's 3 units deep. All right, so it's 8 by 8 by 3. I'm going to do that first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So So I'm just laying out that block. Okay, and it's 3. We're going to extrude it 3. 1, 2, 3. Like that. So that's the easy part, right? So what is the diameter of my hole?
Eight.
No, this is 8. So what would the diameter of the hole be? 6. That's not. All right. So I'm going to draw my parallelogram. Remember, step 1. What is it? Parallelogram, right? So I'm going to come in 1 unit all the way around, and I'm going to. What's my next step after that? Do you remember? Find the midpoints, right? So 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. Now the diagonals to the midpoints, right? Or the corners. So here, 1 here. You draw these lines very lightly. Okay? And then from here, and then here.
Those lines are to make a circle?
Yes. So my pivot points are here, and here, and here, and here. Now I have to scribe my arcs. Okay? This is 1 radius, so you open up your compass to that radius, and you're going to scribe an arc there. Come down here, and you're going to scribe an arc here. And then you're going to open up to the larger radius, the larger radius, which is this radius here. Okay, and then we're going to come over here to this corner, and we're going to draw this radius here. I'm just going to turn the paper here just a little bit to help me sketch this in here. All right. Now, do I have to recreate all this again? No. You see this pivot point right here? You see how it creates this arc right here? I just have to go back to depth. 1, 2, 3, right there. Okay, now watch this. Okay, now the same radius here is going to be here. Okay, so basically it's just going to look something like this. Okay. Now, I could have done a better job, but what I was trying to show you, I don't have a compass, but if I did, I would take this radius right here, I would move this back 3 and scribe an arc. Okay? Any questions?
That one was cool.
Pardon?
I like it.
You like hand sketching? Well, then I can't wait to see some of your hand sketches. Because I know there's some students who don't like the CAD part, and they love to show their true artistic ability, and they love to do the hand drawings. I can do a better job than this, but if you notice, my platform's up like this, and my hind end is sitting on the floor. That makes it very difficult to draw. Okay? So anyway, any questions about these? You have this, again, you have this PowerPoint in Canvas. You're welcome to take pictures of these slides, once the lecture is over with. But I think this completes the recording here. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording, and this is for you online students. So I don't know who you are, but in person, but you have a video now. So let me stop this recording.